Lessons learned, my child, look up and learn the truth I show. Trust not illusions, vision, ever brief and fleeting, for only truth can give thee thy heart's desire. Lord Buddha speaks to me when sin holds sway, when passion's fire rise high and help seems far away. Fear not, for I have conquered passions fierce and raging. Tread thou the path I show thee, therein lies peace. Lord Buddha speaks to me when friends depart, when loneliness assails my aching heart. My child, my feet once wandered, lonely in the forest, but in the hour of darkness I found truth's light.
And good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Welcome to DBCM Weekly Sunday Puja and Dhamma Sharing Online. Today is 8 November 2020. DBCM would like to thank Brother Yo and Sister Emily for hosting today's Puja. The chanting will be led by Sister Kun and Sister Emily. Now we shall begin with the offering of lights, incense, water, and flower to Lord Buddha. If you have a Buddha Rupa at home, you may start to offer and chant the stanza. With lights brightly shining, abolishing this gloom, I adore the enlightened one who dispels the darkness of ignorance. Offering of incense. With perfumed incense from odorless principles, I worship the exalted, worthy of worship, who dispels the darkness of ignorance. Offering of water. Please accept from us, Venerable Lord, this water that is humbly offered. Out of compassion for us, please receive this, O Supreme One. Offering of flower. With these flowers, colorful, fragrant, and excellent, I are offered at the sacred feet of the Lord of Sages. By this merit may I gain the liberation. Just as this flower must fade, so will this body undergo decay. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Anatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Kamesu miccaccara veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Itipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho viccacarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhammasarati satta deva manussanam buddho bhagavati. Sakato bhagavata dhammo sandittiko akaliko ehipassiko opanyayiko paccattam vedittabho vinyuditi. Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Ujjapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Samicipatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Yadidam cattari purisa yugani atta purisa pukkala esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Ahuneyo pahuneyo dakhineyo anjali karaniyo anuttarang punyakekang lokasati. Vandami cediyang sabbang sappatane supatititang saririka dhatu mahabodhi buddha rupang sakalang sada. Yassa mule nisinnova sappari vijayang akha. Atto sabbanyutang satta vande tang bodhipadapam. Ime ete mahabodhi lokanatena pujita Aham pite namasami Bodhi Raja Namatute Ganasara paditena dipena tamadang sina Tilokadipang sambuddhang pujayami tamododang Ganda samparayuttena jupena ham sugandhina pujaye pujaniyantang puja bhajanamuttamam adivase tuno bante haniyang parikapitam anukampang upadaya patigan hatumuttamam adivase tuno bante bhojanang parikapitam anukampang upadaya patigan hatumuttamam adivase tuno bante gilana pacayang imang anukampang upadaya patigan hatumuttamam Vanda ganda guno petam etang kusuma santating pujayami muning dasa siri pada saruruhe Pujemi buddhang kusumena nena punyena metena cahotu mokkang Uppang nilaya tiyata idang me kayo tatayati vinasa bhavang Akasata ca bummata deva naga mahittika punyantang anumodetva cirang rakhantu loka sasanam Akasata ca bummata deva naga mahittika Punyantang anumodetva cirang rakhantu desanam Akasata ca bummata deva naga mahittika Punyantang anumodetva cirang rakhantu mang paranti Devo vasatu kalena sasa sampati hetu ca Pito bhavatu loko ca Raja bhavatu dhammiko Idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo Idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo Idang me nyatinang hotu Kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya katang Acayang kamame bante guri panya tathagata chittena pamadena maya katang acayang kamame dhamma sanjittika akalika kayena vaca chittena pamadena maya katang acayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara. Karaniya mata kusalena yang tang santang padang abisamecca sakho juca sujuca subaco ca samudu anatimani santu sakho ca subaroca apakicco ca salahu kabutti santindriyo ca nipako ca apagabbo ule suananugiddo Nacakuddang samacare kinciyena binyo pare upavadeyum Sukhino vakemino hontu sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta Ye kecipana bhutati tasava kavarava anavasesa digava ye mahantava Machima rasaka nukatula Dittava yeva ditta ye cha dure vasanti avidure bhutava sambhavesiva sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta Naparo parang nikodbeta nati manyeta katta chinang kanchi Vyaro sana patigasanya nanya manya sadukha micheya Matayatani yang putang ayusa eka putta manurakhe evam pisabhabutesu manasam bhavaye aparimanam Metang jasa balokasmi manasam bhavaye aparimanam Uddhang adocha kiriyancha asambadang averang asapatang Tittang charang nisinova sayanova yavatassa vigatamido etang sating aditteya brahmametang viharang idamahu Ditting chanupagamma silava dasanena sampanno kame suvineya gedam nahi jatu gabbaseyam punareti sadhu Sadhu, sadhu.
You two brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, good morning. Sorry for the technical glitch. Today is 8th November 2020 and the time now is 10:37. Today's Dhamma sharing is led by Dd Leng Huat. He is the current president of Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia. Today's topic is As I Grow Older, Season 2, The Body. Dd Leng Huat will focus on feelings today. Over to you, Dd Leng Huat.
Suki Hotu, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. There were lots of excitement for us also today. I thought people in America are all excited, but I think we are also excited here. Between me and the viewers and our brother Terence, everybody was excited because there was no transmission this morning. Anyway, with that excitement, I will promise you a good story on excitement later. Okay? We'll talk about excitement later. It's part of the feelings. Okay? Okay. Those of you who have followed me last week, have followed us in my sharing whatever, in my sharing as I grow older, will know that last week I was talking about this body that needs physical food to keep it healthy so that the mind remains healthy. We also spoke about spiritual food, which I also said that going to the gym is part of spiritual food, as you distract your mind from the stress or whatever stresses that you are actually experiencing at the moment by going to the gym. You distract your attention, you relax your mind, so that is also part of the spiritual food that I talk about. And again, I wish to remind all our friends out there that when I refer to the body, I'm treating this body holistically. I am also treating this body holistically. That is the Nama and Rupa together. So all these feelings are inside this body. The Nama is inside the body. And the Rupa is also the body. Okay. So we were talking about spiritual food. So as I grow older, I will treat morality as a good spiritual food for me also. Why? Why is it so? It is because, like for instance, we have to observe our 5 precepts. No killing as spiritual food, because we must realize that we are also kind of an animal. The animals and us are the same. The only difference we have to realize is that we have got a mind that is well developed. Our mind is developed and we know, we are able to differentiate between the good and the bad. We can decide what is good and what is not good. Well, the animals were based on instinct, instinct for survival. We have a choice. Okay. So when we talk about that, so except that we say that even the animals are afraid of death. You must remember that we also are afraid of death, so also the animals are afraid of death. The animals are also afraid of physical suffering. We are also afraid of physical suffering. We are also thinking, we are talking about our mental suffering. Do animals have mental suffering? I do not know. But at least my experience with my dog at home, with my pet dog, when I scold her for doing something wrong, and she looks at you in the eye and you feel sorry for scolding her. Yeah, you can feel the emotion, and I believe they have that emotion too. They have that dignity, when you scold them, they don't like also like this. As they grow older, also they don't like to be scolded. They're no more puppies. So sometimes I do feel when I scold the dog, I do feel that. So maybe they have got that mental kind of feelings also, right? I believe so. You see, so we talk about mental suffering, okay? And then we talk, but the funny thing is that we don't understand this. When we talk about mental suffering, there are people, we are still having people, people in the world who loves to watch cockfighting. Remember, we have got people in the world who loves to see cockfighting. And also sometimes they will have those fighting fish, fish fighting also. People enjoy seeing this violence. So that is what we don't agree. But why do they still enjoy this, this feeling? Maybe because of boredom, we say, sometimes because of boredom, they're very bored, they don't know what to do, so they like to breed all these kind of things. But let us also try to remember, I think for these animals to fight, how to make them fierce and wanting to fight each time they see the same breed. I think we have turned them into a psychopath. Huh? We have turned them into psychopaths. We must have treated them in such a way and bred them in such a way that they become a psychopath. Meaning to say, they become very aggressive. So it's very unfair. I think by nature, these cockerels are not actually that fierce. And also the fishes will not be fierce. I remember when we were young also, we go to the paddy fields and we catch those fighting fish. And sometimes we bury them in the ground for a few days. All total darkness for them. So they become psychopaths. So we think that when we take them out, they become very fierce. But we forgot actually, they have become psychopaths. So I don't think it's fair to treat animals that way. So we should not involve ourselves, indulge ourselves in violent sports like that, So we should not involve, and we say that then we are bored, we know what to do, but we cannot rely on external, like we say, external influence to make us happy. These kind of things you do is temporary. If you turn to violence to kill your boredom, I think you need more and more violence every day. Like drugs, you take drugs, you need more and more drugs as medication. It is very dangerous. Maybe enjoy some simple things like reading. Going to the gym, I say, is a very good form of relaxation, Because maybe we are bored. I believe that when we are bored, when I'm bored, I believe that my mind is tired. Not that it has nothing to do. The mind has never rested. It is always jumping like a monkey here and there. So we are tired. So relax yourself by what? Maybe you do a short meditation if you want, or you go to the gym and distract yourself from these activities. Spend some time in the garden. Have pets. Have a garden. Talk to your plants. But the only danger is the plants talk to you, you have to be careful. So you better see a doctor when the plants talk to you. You can talk to the plants, but don't let the plants talk to you. Okay? And that becomes the danger here. Okay, so this kind of things we can do. We don't have to enjoy violent sports to distract our mind. We don't advocate because eventually it will induce violence into us also. Correct? So this is all about feelings we talk about. These are all about feelings. Yeah. And actually, when we talk about feelings today, like I said, all the excitement reminded me also of what is happening in America, So after the election, you see that you see in every game, in every election, you have a winner and a loser. So it's difficult for the loser to accept the loss. But if you refer to the Buddha's teaching on the 8 worldly conditions, we have to remember. So, okay, the thing is we have to remember 8 worldly conditions. It talks about gain and loss, right? When you have gain, you have losses. When you are popular, you become unpopular also. Right? So when you are happy, you also experience sadness. And when there's pleasure, there's pain. Then the common question is then how do we overcome this, brother? Agree? How do we overcome this? How do we accept losses, So to accept losses, like I've said, we have to remember that these are part and parcel of our life. Okay? First, remember the 8 worldly conditions that when we gain, we must lose. We are popular, become unpopular. Now, what does this mean? This means that this is not about you, right? So one way that the Buddha taught us to overcome this kind of feelings, the dejection feelings. So what you do, we will remember the 3 universal laws that the Buddha taught us also on impermanence, anicca, impermanence and dukkha, suffering, and also anatta, non-self. Now, put that three conditions, put these 3 conditions and these 3 universal laws into practice. When we talk about anicca, when you are up there, now, example, if I am now the big man, the president of a country, I must remember, anicca means I am here on a temporary basis. I am here because the legislation allows me to be here. And it is only on a temporary basis. As I grow older, I remember that. I'm also president of Theravada Council today. I must remember I have to step down also. So we must remember that this is only a temporary position. Okay, so that is called temporary. That this created for us, for me, for life. I always remember that. So we talk about that as anicca, how we use anicca in this particular case. Now we talk also of suffering. We must remember, in this position that we have, it is not about power. It is not about power. It is about work, responsibility and work, which is actually, there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of responsibility, which also indirectly we say that we use that word dukkha. Dukkha has a lot of work, a lot of responsibility, not sitting there in the position of power, correct? So we must also remember that this position is anicca, it also brings dukkha. And last but not least, we talk about this position is not about yourself. This position is about non-self. What do you mean by non-self? This position, I tell you. I've also just read it somewhere in the news that when Biden won the election, now they declared him the winner. So they asked one of the American supporter, how do you feel about Biden winning the presidency? He says, this is not about me. This is about America. So that is non-self. We mustn't take everything as self. So when we lose the election also, it is not about self, that we have to change from popular to being unpopular. If we accept non-self that way, that is how we can actually pacify ourselves, make ourselves feel better. That we know that this is just a system that you have to step down after a certain number of years, you have to step down. Okay, so we must use these three principles taught by the Buddha in our daily life of impermanence, dukkha, which is also can be termed as non-satisfactory or suffering, and also non-self. So this system that we are going through today, we have to step down one day. In this position, we have to step down. That's non-self. Not about, say, when they ask that man, how do you feel about Biden winning? He says, no, it's not about how I feel. It is about America. All right? So that is perfectly used as non-self. We mustn't take every situation as self, and that will cause you a lot of suffering. Correct? And then we will remember that this is causing us a lot of suffering. So now, let us talk about non-self. Sometimes it's a very heavy subject, so I hope I have not made you so tense about this strong, heavy subject. Let us relax ourselves a bit. I told you I will tell you a story about excitement. Since you're all excited this morning with our technical glitches, let us relax a bit. I also need to relax. So we relax with a story about excitement. We talk about excitement. Now this gentleman one day, he fell sick. He had a heart attack, a heart problem. So the family panicked and sent him to the hospital. Right? But before that, he bought a lottery. He bought a lottery. The family knew about it. He bought a lottery. So they sent him to the hospital, and then they intensive care, and they looked after him very well. And then he was recovering very well. So he was recovering after 2 or 3 days. Then the family realized that his lottery ticket won him a big prize. A big prize of $10 million. So the family was so excited. The family was all so excited. We're talking about excitement now. So the family all was so excited. They went to the hospital and they told the doctor, we need to see him. Doctor says, why? We want to tell him that he won a big prize, $10 million. He says, no. Don't tell him yet. He may not be ready to accept that kind of excitement, He just recovered from that heart attack. Relax. You don't tell him. Let me tell him. I will know to handle, but I'm the doctor. So they say, okay, fine, doctor. You tell him. Don't worry. I'm a professional. So the doctor went in and spoke to the patient. He said, how are you today? Patient said, I'm fine today, doctor. I feel great. I think I can go home now. Doctor said, yeah, you look great. You have recovered very well. It's very good. Do you remember you bought a lottery before you sent to the hospital? Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So what if I tell you, you expect to win from the lottery? He says, okay, if I win, it's good. If I don't win, also it's okay with me. It's more a charitable kind of thing. I buy the lottery for charity, because In Malaysia, we have got the lottery that is actually run by some welfare organization, where all profits go to the charity. So he says, no, I do it for charity. It's okay, fine. If I win, it's good. If I don't win, it's also okay. Then the doctor asked him, what if you have really won a big prize? You have won $10 million. What would you do? No, it's fine with me. I'm not excited. If I win the $10 million, I'll be happy. If I don't win, I'm still happy, doctor. Are you sure you won't be so excited? Then, no, I'm not, doctor. I will be very relaxed. If I win, I'm not excited. Okay, good. Then the doctor told him, are you sure you are not excited? He said, no. What if I tell you you have won the lottery? Will you share with me? Will you give me? And no problem, doctor. You have saved my life. If I win the lottery, I will give you $5 million from the lottery. Don't worry, 50% is yours. So the doctor said, oh, yes, why not? Can you put that in writing for me? He said, why not? Give me a piece of paper. He took paper, he wrote down, yeah, if I win this lottery, 50%, that is $5 million, I will give to this doctor so and so. And he signed on the paper. So give it to the doctor. When the doctor saw that paper, he was shocked and he fell. Okay, he collapsed to the ground. So this man panicked. So he shouted for help. So his family outside thought something happened to him. They rushed to the hospital. They rushed into his room. And they found the doctor lying on the ground dead. The doctor was dead. So the doctor could not take the excitement. So this is actually part of the story which I want to tell you is about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Remember, I have told you before, we are grateful to the good, we are also grateful to the bad, we are also grateful to the ugly. So this is where I am demonstrating to you, sometimes we too have the quality of the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we must remember, don't always think we are saints, we also have that quality. So I hope this story you can remember that and always remember that this is the feeling that we have. Because we're talking about feelings today. So today we are telling you that actually the good, the bad, and ugly. So again, coming back to this heavy subject of feelings again. We're talking about feelings again. What is this feelings all about actually? Feelings is the closest thing to our body. Correct? The closest item to the body is feeling. That's why if you do a bit of Dhamma, or you do the Nama Rupa concept, after Rupa, they will go to Vedana straight, Nama Rupa, and go Vedana, feelings. After body is feeling. But feeling is closest to the body. Now, but what does feeling do for you? What does feeling do for me? For this physical body, the feeling will tell me that it is comfortable or not comfortable. Correct? You put me in a position where I like, this chair is comfortable. Or you give me a stool, I may say that the stool is not comfortable. That is the reaction of the feeling for the body. Feeling for the mind, I think has got three conditions there. Feeling for the mind, sometimes it makes you feel happy. There are times you feel unhappy. And there are times that this feeling is neutral. So these are the 5 conditions of the thing. The feelings can give you these 5 kind of sentiments, these 5 kinds of emotion. Comfortable or not comfortable, that's more for your body needs. For your mental, it is whether you're happy, unhappy, or it's neutral. So that is feelings. Feelings put flavor into that item. Feelings put flavor for you to know what that item is all about. Now, when we feel that we like that item, we like it, okay, and this comes from where? These feelings, we say, that's why the Buddha has stressed to us that all your akusala karma, all the unwholesome deeds that we do is through this body, speech, and mind. Again, I say body, speech, and mind is all in this body. We treat this body holistically. So the Buddha says that this body is the one that causes you to do unwholesome and wholesome deeds now. We will demonstrate to you this way. It's easier to understand this way. So, feeling, there are 6 doors that we can perceive, you know. This body perceive through 6 doors. We realize no 6 doors. We only can see things through our eyes, our ear, we hear, or through smell, maybe through the tongue, through the body for feelings, sometimes also through the mind. The mind also sometimes can be thinking on a lot of things. So these are the 6 doors that this causes the feeling to be there. It causes the feeling. So when you see something you like, what happens? Like I've said, it gives you the comfort you like, happiness. It gives you something you like. And when you like, what happens? You like it too much, you want to own it, correct? You want it so much. Then eventually you become attached to it, correct? Because of this feeling, you like it. And this came through your eyes. Your eyes saw that the thing is nice and you like it. Then what happens? That likeness will trigger and say that you must have it. So when you say you want to have it, you become attached to it. You become attached to the thought of wanting it, right? And then eventually, after prolonged attachment to wanting it, you cling to it, correct? And when you cling to it, and that is the cause of suffering. Because you cling to the 5 senses. Because you cling to the thing that you see, that through your eyes, through your ear, through whatever it is, through the 6 doors, and then you cling to that idea, you like it, and that the Buddha says is the cause of suffering. It all starts from the feeling. That is why we believe in cause and effect. Yeah, it's all through the feelings. So then you'll understand that this all comes from feeling, and this is basically, that is why I don't wish to make it too heavy, but that is why we say cause and effect. Cause and effect means if you refer to the dependent origination, the sutta on dependent origination, which is Paticca Samuppada, if you can remember that, it says avicca paccaya sankara, sankara paccaya vinyana. I will just recite this. Vinyana paccaya nama rupa paccaya salayatana, salayatana paccaya paso. Okay, now we start from here. So it is your 6 senses that gives you the contact. Correct? Paso paccaya vedana, then your feeling comes in. So that is why the causes, we call it the dependent origination. That is why through this contact, you have this feeling, and the feeling will cause you to cling. And clinging eventually will cause you all the normal norms of rebirth and cycle of rebirth and all your panchu padana kanda, dukkha, then you go domanasu, and so we will talk about domanasu paccaya payasa sambhavanti. So we will talk about all these in the which I don't intend to talk today. So we just wish to tell you about feelings and how does feeling actually affect you. And how to overcome this kind of feelings like anger, when somebody loses something like today, like I've said, probably, if I'm the president of a country and I lose the election, what will I do? I will try to remember, like I said, I will use the 8 vicissitudes in life to inspire me, to help me to understand that life has ups and downs. I will use the 3 universal values of impermanence and suffering and non-self to help me to understand deeper on the process, so it won't be so bad. So otherwise, this kind of feeling will lead you to anger. Correct? Then when anger comes in, what happens? You become insane. Sometimes anger makes you insane for a moment. You don't think of what you do after that. You do a lot of silly things that people will be surprised that people of your caliber can do. But it happens that way. So sometimes, we have to watch our anger. Because if we don't control ourselves and don't understand why we have to be unpopular one day, and we don't understand this, we don't understand that, it leads you to a lot of anger. Ignorance, then it will lead you to anger. So this feeling coupling with ignorance, right? Because you don't understand this feeling, then it leads you to anger. But I think the popular question here is then how do we control this feeling? Like anger. Anger is one of the feelings. So we say, how do you control, brother? I think it's a very popular question. Everybody wants to learn to control the anger. So also this brother wants to learn to control. But we know the theory to be applied daily. We don't expect to recover immediately. I can give you ideas, but I don't expect you to improve immediately. But it will have an immediate effect on you to be able to contain it to a certain level. Okay? Now, when we talk about anger, remember, anger is also a feeling. I have to think that way. Anger is also a feeling. So when I get angry, why? So I must think carefully. So what I do is, of course, I am not perfect, because everybody will go through this process of anger. So you must think carefully that this anger is a feeling. Feeling caused by what? Caused by your thoughts there. Your thoughts, or we call it the perception, right? That tells you a certain thing. That situation is no good, that situation is good. Like I tell you, the body, it tells you the body is comfortable or the body is not comfortable. Or it tells you make your mind happy or you're unhappy or you're neutral. So when things that make you unhappy, what happens? You will try to get angry. So if you can remove that thought away first, remember, there is feeling and there is thoughts. Draw a line. Remove thoughts first. Tell the thought you go away first. Look at feeling. So you know that anger is coming up now. Remove the thoughts. Don't think about that person and that person do this, that person does that. Now remove that part, okay? Just think about you are getting angry. Treat the feeling first, okay? Think about that part where the feeling is now coming up, maturing, okay? Now, there are three ways that people normally use to get rid of this kind of feeling, which is no good. Sometimes what people do is when they think that the feeling is there, they suppress the feelings. Right? When we were young, we always would tell us, you must tolerate, don't worry, control, never mind, accept. What happens, eventually you will burst. You see, sometimes you got a wife at home. Many of us here who have wives at home, and people who are wives also. Housewives, they do a lot of work at home, they feel that they're sacrificing a lot of their time at home. So one day you realize that they will be thinking, never mind, I do lie, I'm the housewife, I do lie. But one day you realize that they burst, Sometimes they tell you that, why I do everything, right? So they burst because they suppress it too long. We work in the office, same thing, Sometimes the bosses just throw work to us, we don't protest. We suppress that anger, eventually it bursts. So that is one way. So you don't suppress that anger. Don't suppress, okay? So you tell me, I'm telling you don't suppress. Now, another way is they also try to express the anger, Expressing anger means demonstration. The wife will get angry and tell you, I don't want to cook today. We go out for dinner. That is called expressing the anger. So we okay, go we take them out. Finally, we take them out. So that is, we are actually expressing anger. Okay? So you see street demonstration of people expressing anger. Right? That's another way. It doesn't help. Right? And another way is, they call it escaping, escaping from the anger. That is where some people will say that they escape from this sort of feeling, they go and drink get drunk, they gamble, they drink, they go cock fighting, they go sea fish fighting, they do this kind of thing, they're trying to get out of that anger sometimes, or get out of boredom. Does it help you? No, it doesn't help you. What will help you is you look internal. I have said it in my last sharing with you, that the Buddha says that everything, the beginning of the world and the end of the world, all lies in this fathom long body. Remember. So all these solutions are here. What do? you monitor your anger. You watch your anger growing. And anger is like a bubble. Okay? Anger is like a bubble. When you watch it grow, it will burst. Eventually, the anger will burst. Okay? It will grow, I don't know to what extent, but it will burst. Okay? So that is where you're containing your anger. So as long as you are able to differentiate, first step is differentiate your thoughts and your feeling. You are there. Correct? That means you are aware that anger is arising. And let this arise. Watch it rise. To what level can it go? You are actually containing anger by then, I think you have achieved what you wanted to achieve. You won't be so angry that you become insane. But anger is sometimes called temporary insanity. So if you can monitor that, and then you realize that the anger will eventually burst, and you have done the job. Okay? So that is where we say we must control our anger that way. There are a lot of things more I would like to discuss with you on feelings. Maybe we can continue again on grief and despair, and maybe a little bit more we touch on anger. But as for today, I think we have covered quite a bit for the day. So just have to remember these basic things. Remember on our 8 vicissitudes in life, it helps you a lot. How to control anger, and then you will be a better person. Okay, with that, I say thank you very much for your attention, and we also apologize for the technical glitches that we have earlier. We are not able to telecast live our chanting today. So with that, I will say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We'll hand over to Brother Terence to do the dedication.
Thank you, Dd Leng Huat, for the sharing. Next week, Brother Ananda Fong will be back with us. A gentle reminder, tomorrow we will be having a Vatana Sutta chanting by Venerable Chananda at 8:30 p.m. On Tuesday, like Dd Leng Huat mentioned just now, is on dependent origination. So, you want to learn more? Join us on Tuesday with Prago Adibalo. Now, let's share our merits with the all beings. Akasata Chabumata Deva Naga Mahidika Punyam Tam Anamutitva Chiramakan Lokasasana Etavata Chamhehi Sampadam Punya Sampadam Sabbe Deva Sabbe Bhuta Sabbe Satta Anumodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhya. Transfer our merit to the departed. Ida me nyatinam hotu sukita hotu nyatayo. Ida me nyatinam hotu sukita hotu nyatayo. Ida me nyatinam hotu sukita hotu nyatayo. Aspirations. Imina punya kamena mame bala samagamu. Satam samagamo hotu yavani vanapatiya sadhu sadhu. Thank you for watching. For other videos and for today's chanting, please visit the link below. Bye bye.